Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review the soundtrack for the 1995 SNES game Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Composed by the longtime Mario songwriter Koji Kondo, it is definitely great and is available through the Nintendo Music app. This is the track listing. 26 tracks come in about 35 minutes, which is pretty decent for a soundtrack, but a little light when compared to sort of regular pop albums. These are the tracks I added to my playlist, 14 out of 26, so 1 over half here. This album is quite good, definitely a standout soundtrack on the app. The opening couple of tracks aren't anything special, but it really hits a groove starting with Flower Field background music, BGM, one of the first sort of stage tracks in the game. Unlike the other Mario soundtracks, this one doesn't repeat tracks multiple times at a faster speed, and it really helps the flow and the overall quality of the album. The album is basically a straight ride to the end once you hit that 7th track. There's only a few really short kind of soundtracks with sound effect songs, which break it up in the back half. Stuff like Yoshi Down and Game Over, as well as Big Boss Clear, and even something like Bowser Defeated are mostly just less than 10-second sound effects. In addition to having some really great stage music like Athletic and Underground BGMs, this soundtrack really knocks it out of the park with the boss themes. Kamek's theme, and the stage boss track are both really good, and then the Big Boss BGM and Bowser theme are just incredible. Some of the best music I've heard from the series here. As usual, there's a bit of recycling old songs, but it's done quite well and doesn't distract from the original tunes that are on this soundtrack. Powerful Mario is a really good take on the invisibility theme, I think. Definitely one of the standout sort of remixes there. The ending song is a bit mixed. Definitely good, but not as great as some of the other end credits themes I've heard from Nintendo at this point. My favorite track here, though, definitely gotta go with the Big Boss BGM. It's incredible, one of my favorite songs, and it really shows off the SNES's sound chip and style very well, in my opinion. Gives that Plock one a run for its money. I rank this the best out of the 11 Mario soundtracks I've heard so far, above Super Mario Bros. 3 and the original Super Mario World. This soundtrack manages to really improve the flow, which is something that the other soundtracks tend to struggle with since they always repeat songs with the hurry-up versions. Super Mario World 2 just feels like a lot less bloated version of the other top soundtracks for the series, like Mario 3 and Super Mario World. Are good, but they have a lot of sort of extra tracks on them. I also rank it first out of the 6 SNES soundtracks I've heard so far. It kind of had to go there since I think it's better than the first Super Mario World, and that was previously the best one. But yeah, the 2 Mario World soundtracks are definitely a step above most of the other SNES soundtracks I've taken a listen to in terms of consistency. So those 2 are definitely good, while the other ones are kind of a little bit more mixed. Additionally, this album takes my top spot from 1995 for Nintendo soundtracks, since it's the only Nintendo soundtrack I've heard from that year so far, so it's kind of a moot point. However, it doesn't take the top spot overall. I decided to stick with Queen's final album, Made in Heaven, which is also pretty great. Super Mario World 2 offers some pretty good competition here, but Made in Heaven is just a lot better in terms of a sort of track-by-track basis, and really comes together a lot better since it doesn't have to deal with sort of the sound effects. So that one's better in my opinion. Thank you for watching. Next up will be the Super Mario 64 soundtrack. This will be our first soundtrack from the N64 for reviews, so it'll be interesting to see how it stands out when compared to the previous generation of soundtracks. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.